Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Kimmy Baby 21, the podcast where we break down the latest tech, cybersecurity, and motivational insights into easy-to-understand stories. Today, we're diving into something crucial for any business or individual: endpoint protection. In particular, we're going deep into Palo Alto Networks Traps, which is now part of their Cortex XDR platform. With the rise of remote work and digital transformation, endpoint security has become more important than ever. Cyber attacks aren't just targeting large corporations anymore. They're going after businesses and individuals of all sizes. And if you're not equipped with the right defense, you could be the next victim. In this episode, we'll break down what makes Traps unique, how it outperforms the competition, and share real-world case stories showing how it stops cyber attacks in their tracks. So, if you care about protecting your devices, whether you're running a business or just protecting your personal data, this episode is for you. Segment 1, what is endpoint protection? Host Kimmy. Before we get into the details of Traps, let's take a step back and understand endpoint protection. At its core, endpoint protection is software designed to detect, block, and respond to cybersecurity threats that target endpoints like laptops, smartphones, desktops, and even IoT devices. These endpoints act as entry points into your network, and if they're compromised, hackers can gain access to your most sensitive data. Now, traditional endpoint protection software often relies on a signature-based detection approach. This means it can only detect threats that are already known and listed in its database. But with cyber threats evolving every day, this kind of protection is not enough. That's where Palo Alto Networks Traps comes in. Instead of focusing on signatures, Traps uses a behavior-based detection system to catch zero-day threats and advanced malware. It doesn't wait for a threat to show up in a signature database. It actively stops malicious behaviors as they happen. Segment 2, how Traps works, the power of behavior-based protection. So how does Traps actually work? Traps focuses on preventing threats by analyzing behaviors, not just signatures. It looks for suspicious activity that could signal an attack, such as files trying to modify the operating system, malware attempting to gain elevated privileges, unusual file encryption activities which could indicate ransomware. Unlike traditional antivirus, which relies on predefined malware signatures, Traps makes real-time decisions based on behavioral analysis. Think of it as having a guard who can spot suspicious actions, even if they've never seen them before. But here's the game changer. Traps is part of Palo Alto Networks' Cortex XDR platform, which means it integrates with other security tools like firewalls, cloud security, and network traffic analytics. This integration gives you a holistic view of your security and enhances your ability to respond faster and smarter. Segment 3, real-world case story, stopping a ransomware attack. Let's bring this to life with a real-world example. Meet Legal Secure, a medium-sized law firm that handles highly sensitive client data, contracts, intellectual property, and legal records. One day, an employee clicked on a phishing email, unknowingly downloading a ransomware strain called Black Spider. The ransomware immediately began encrypting files across the entire network. So what happened next? Step 1, detection. As the ransomware tried to encrypt Legal Secure's files, Traps identified the unusual behavior of files being modified at a rapid pace. It flagged this as ransomware activity. Step 2, prevention. Traps didn't just warn the IT team. It automatically blocked the malware's attempts to spread across the network, stopping the encryption dead in its tracks. Step 3, quarantine and remediation. The infected device was quarantined, and the security team used Cortex XDR to perform a forensic investigation. They identified that the attack stemmed from a phishing email and immediately rolled out new phishing training for all employees. The result? Legal Secure avoided a massive breach, lost zero data, and was back up and running in just hours. Not days like some of its competitors might have faced. But let's look at how Traps stacks up against the competition. Companies like CrowdStrike and Symantec are well known in the endpoint protection space, but they often focus on detection instead of prevention. This means that an attack like Black Spider might still get past the defenses before it's stopped, leaving you with the fallout and recovery costs. With Traps, the attack was stopped before it could cause damage. Segment 4, why Traps is better than the competitors. So, why is Traps better than its competitors? Here are a few key points. 1. Behavior-based detection versus signature-based detection. Traps goes beyond signatures and focuses on malicious behaviors, which means it can detect even the most advanced, never-before-seen threats. Competitors like Symantec and McAfee still rely heavily on signature-based detection, meaning they're often a step behind when it comes to new and evolving threats. 2. Real-time prevention. Traps doesn't just detect and alert, it prevents attacks in real time. In comparison, CrowdStrike focuses on detection and incident response, but doesn't have the same level of prevention capabilities as Traps. 3. Holistic security with Cortex XDR. Because Traps is integrated with Cortex XDR, you get a complete view of your endpoint, network, and cloud security all in one place. Many competitors require additional tools and siloed systems to achieve the same level of protection, making your security more complex and harder to manage. 4. Seamless integration and automation. Traps doesn't just stop at endpoint protection. It integrates with other Palo Alto Networks products like next-generation firewalls, NGFW, and Prisma Cloud, creating a seamless, automated security environment. This level of integration is hard to find with other endpoint protection providers, who may require separate systems to protect your network, cloud, and endpoints. Segment 5. Sales pitch. Why you should choose Traps for your business. If you're a business owner or in charge of IT security, let me make this clear. In today's world, traditional antivirus software just doesn't cut it. You need something that's advanced, proactive, and scalable. And that's exactly what Palo Alto Networks Traps provides. Whether you're a small business, an enterprise, or a startup, Traps offers an unbeatable combination of behavior-based detection to stop even the most advanced threats, real-time prevention to avoid costly data breaches, seamless integration with Palo Alto's larger security ecosystem, automated responses to prevent attacks before they get out of hand. By choosing Traps, you're not just protecting your endpoints, you're protecting your entire organization from the inside out. And if you're worried about cost, remember, the cost of a breach is far higher than the investment in a comprehensive security solution. Traps saves you time, money, and potential brand damage by stopping attacks before they start. That's it for today's episode of Kimmy Baby 21. I hope you're now armed with all the information you need to make smart choices when it comes to protecting your endpoints. Remember, in a world where cyber threats are constantly evolving, you can't afford to be reactive. You need to be proactive. With Palo Alto Networks Traps, you'll have the cutting-edge defense your business needs to stay secure and keep your data safe. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share this with anyone who needs to hear about the importance of next-gen cybersecurity. Next week, we'll dive into the growing role of AI in threat detection. Until then, stay safe, stay curious, and stay unstoppable. I'm Kimmy, signing off.